crafts and industries. Learning about crafts and industries in India. India is the only country in the world with living traditions of crafts. In India, the craft sector is next to agriculture. Crafts communities using materials that range from clay to precious metals. Let us see some examples of Indian crafts. India. The industrial workshops of the world. India was center of craft and industries before establishment of British rule. It was described as the industrial workshop of the world. The cities had workshops where several artisans could work on a piece together. In the villages, the artisans worked from home with their family members. This system of production is called cottage industry. There were flourishing cotton textile centers at Murshidabad, Banaras, Krishnanagar, Dhaka, Ahmedabad and Mathura. Now children, let us know what were the main exports in the 17th century. Calico, a coarse cotton cloth. Muslin, plain woven cotton fabric. Yarn, raw cotton. Raw silk. Gold and silver artifacts. Jewelry. Leather. Sugar. Rice. Indigo. Pepper and other species. After the establishment of British rule in India, slow but steady decline of local industries started. Let us know the causes behind it. Causes are: first, impact of Industrial Revolution. Children, do you know what is Industrial Revolution? The Industrial Revolution was a period from the 1740s and 1860s, where major changes in agriculture, manufacturing, mining, transportation, and technology had a profound effect on the social, economic, and cultural conditions of the time. It began in United Kingdom. After this revolution, Britain started producing machine-made goods and textile that were much cheaper and better in quality than Indian goods. Indian handicrafts slowly died because they could not compete against these products. Second cause was loss of royal patronage. In India, many products were designed for the local aristocracy. When the British started ruling the country, most of them now depended directly or indirectly on the British. Loss of external markets was one of the important reasons, as there had been a great demand for Indian goods in Europe. British manufacturers felt threatened by this. So, by 1720, strict laws were passed by the British government banning the import of Indian textile into Britain. The next cause was coercive tactics used by the British. Indian farmers were forced by company agents to cultivate cotton and sell it to them at cheap rates. It was essential for weavers to register with the company. They were also not allowed to work for others or for themselves. One more cause was there behind decline of industries was indifference of the British rulers. East India Company didn't make any provision to absorb jobless artisans into the new factories as they did in Britain. The displaced artisans returned to their villages and tried to take up agriculture. This put further pressure on the land. Now children, let us have some idea about industrialization in India in 19th century. As industries in India would become competitors to British industries, the British government did not establish heavy industries in India. The revolt of 1857 and the growing national movement put pressure on the British to do something about dying industries of India. The recurring famines in India forced the British to set up the Famine Commission in 1880. The commission strongly recommended the setting up of factories in India as this would reduce pressure on agriculture. The beginning of modern Indian industry. Large-scale industries required. Large-scale movement of raw material and finished products. For this, modern and efficient means of transport and communication were needed. India lacked both, so the British started building roads and railways across the country. Steam navigation along the river was developed. Post and telegraph were introduced to speed up the communication. Now, let us know about the factories in India. British investors built jute factories in Calcutta and cotton mills in Kanpur. In 1914, when World War I broke out, it was becoming difficult to get their essential supplies from England due to the war. So the British were forced to start steel factories in India. Cotton textiles. The first cotton mill was set up in Bombay in 1854 by Kawasji Nanabhai. The next one came up in Ahmedabad in 1861. By the end of the 19th century, British capitalists opened many more cotton mills in Kanpur, Sholapur and Nagpur. The jute industry. The jute mills were centered around Calcutta mainly because of the availability of raw materials. In 1855, the first jute mill in Bengal started. Coal mining. In 1850s, the British started building railway lines in India. For that, coal was required. Coal was also needed by the iron and steel industry. Coal mines were opened in Bengal, Orissa, and Bihar. Sugar industry. Sugar factories were concentrated in Maharashtra because of availability of sugarcane. Even now, in India, this state is one of the largest sugar producing area. The iron and steel industry. Iron and steel was required for building activities like machines, ships, trucks, or houses. In 1907, the Tata Iron and Steel Company was founded by the visionary Jamsetji Nusairwanji Tata in Jamshedpur, Bihar. This was the first Indian-owned steel producing unit in India. The plantation industry. Indian farmers were forced to cultivate cash crops like indigo, tea, jute, rubber, etc. Plantation is a place where cash crops are grown on a large scale. Indigo. Indigo is an important dye for the textile industry. Indigo was cultivated on a large scale by the British colonists. Indian peasants were forced to work under inhuman conditions. Tea and coffee. British started tea plantations in Bengal and Assam. Indians were made to work as laborers in these plantations. They started large-scale production of coffee in Cork. Results of growth of modern industries. Artisans and craftsmen who were producing fine articles were now jobless and became laborers. Since modern industries were established, some parts of India progressed while others remained undeveloped. All these factories were originally owned by the British and all the profit went to them. Summary. The first cotton mill in India was started in Bombay by Kawasji Nanabhai. Coal mines were started in Bihar, Bengal and Orissa. Jamshedji Tata established the steel factory in India at Jamshedpur. The British established tea plantation in Assam and Bengal and coffee plantation in Coorg.